Hey, it's Noah, and welcome back to iHollywood TV. Well, 10 years ago, former Queer Eye star and interior designer Thom Filicia donated his bone marrow to his brother, who was actually diagnosed with myelofibrosis. It's a complex blood cancer that affects nearly 25,000 people in the United States alone. We are thrilled that Thom is here today with Dr. Kirkendall to discuss a new GSK initiative called Mapping Myelofibrosis, which actually helps to raise awareness of this blood cancer and provides educational tools and resources to help navigate all the aspects of the disease. Thom and Dr. Kirkendall, thank you so much for joining us. Good morning, guys. Welcome.
Good morning, Noah.
Now, Thom, let's start off with you. What was your role in helping your brother navigate myelofibrosis? Talk to our audience about that.
Well, so 10 years ago, my brother was diagnosed with myelofibrosis, and it really came out of left field, and he was trying to sort of navigate what it was and how to sort of chart his path, with his healthcare. And we were also completely unaware of what myelofibrosis was, and we had really no resources at that time to sort of figure out what it was and how to sort of support my brother and just really understand the disease. And I wish that we had what we're here today to talk to you about, which is the Mapping Myelofibrosis initiative, and that's why I have teamed up with GSK so that we can bring awareness to this website, mappingmf.com, which is a place where, as you said, educational tools, resources, and stories from doctors and patients. It's a real community connection where people can go and really understand, how to sort of, understand what myelofibrosis is and how to sort of map their course of action. So that it was a very scary time, needless to say, because we were completely in the dark. So this is, I think this initiative is really important.
Now, Thom, was there any symptoms or signs that you saw within your brother that discovered this diagnosis with myelofibrosis?
Well, one of the things that I've learned through, just my brother having myelofibrosis, and Dr. Kirkendall will talk a lot about this, is that, myelofibrosis is, there are so many different symptoms that one can have, and it's, for each patient, it can be very unique and very different. So my brother was experiencing a lot of fatigue, and he was very tired. He just was not himself, and he was aware that he was just, something was off, and he felt, he was, I think, anemic and some other issues that he was having. And so they, through testing, realized that, pretty quickly that he was diagnosed with myelofibrosis. So it isn't a one-size-fits-all kind of disease. So he, as soon as he realized, that he had myelofibrosis, there was, was just trying to figure out how to sort of map out what he was going to do, and we were there to support him. I was then quickly identified as his bone marrow donor.
Now, coming to you, Dr. Kirkendall, what is myelofibrosis to the audience that has never heard of this disease, and what's unique about it?
Yeah, absolutely. So myelofibrosis is actually a chronic blood cancer, and it's driven by really an overproduction issue where the body's making too many blood cells in the bone marrow, and that overproduction that's going on can lead to a buildup of inflammation and scar tissue that forms in the bone marrow, which makes it very difficult to make blood cells appropriately. So as Thom mentioned, you can become anemic where you don't have enough blood cells. Other people make too many of some other blood cells. Your body starts to make blood cells in other locations like the spleen, so that can get enlarged. You can also have symptoms like fevers, chills, night sweats, bone pain, weight loss, and that can be how you present. And I think the challenging thing about this disease is that, you don't have to have all those symptoms. You may have one, someone else may have another, and another person may have completely different symptoms, and yet everyone has this same diagnosis of myelofibrosis. And so as a rare disease that can present in a variety of ways, it can be very scary to patients who are struggling to understand more about their disease. And if they hear about one other patient's story, it may be completely different from theirs. And that's what mappingmf.com does, is it can connect you to stories of people that maybe present with similar symptoms, so you feel like you're not alone in this fight. And you get those educational resources that used to be harder to come by, so you feel empowered to really share in the decision making and become kind of your own best advocate.
Now, guys, what is the Mapping Myelofibrosis initiative? Talk to our audience about that.
Well, I mean, the initiative is really about educating people as to what myelofibrosis is, because it is somewhat, I would say it's a sort of an unknown disease at a certain level. And I think giving people awareness of what myelofibrosis is, and symptoms to look out for, also giving them the mappingmf.com website so that people can go there, and whether they're experiencing these things themselves, these symptoms, or they're helping someone so that is dealing with myelofibrosis. So it's a resource for doctors, for patients, and for people that are part of the sort of the caregivers for any patient. And so it's a really important educational tool. So that is really what Mapping Myelofibrosis is.
Now, Thomas, we're all decked out for the holiday season here at iHollywood TV. How will you be celebrating the holidays this year, and do you have a memorable Christmas memory?
Well, so I will be celebrating the holidays with my family, Thanksgiving and Christmas with my family and my friends, and out in Eastern Long Island and in New York City and upstate New York. So yeah, so that is my plan. I would say my favorite memories of the holidays, I grew up, in upstate New York, and so I remember a lot of snow and outside, just skiing or building snow forts and looking for the hidden Christmas presents that I knew were somewhere in the house.
That's hilarious. So much fun. Oh, I wish we could all go back and be a kid once again. Well, Tom and Dr. Kirkendall, thank you so much for joining us on the show. So nice to have you guys talk about this important topic, myelofibrosis.
Yes.
Y'all take care and have a great day. And thank you so much, Tom. We appreciate your time.
And remember, you can go to Mapping Myelofibrosis on Facebook as well.
Fantastic. We'll have all the information below. Okay. Y'all take care. Have a great day.
Thanks so much.